Now let's see how we can edit the staircase. You can edit it for various reasons. Maybe you want to change some overall its shape, or maybe the surfaces, and many more things like overall proportions for the trade riser. Several things are there. Prior to that, I'm just going to copy this section line and I'm going to generate one more section. You can even draw a new section line, that's not an issue. So I'll just place it over here. Now automatically it has been renamed for a S-03. I will just try to rename this to staircase section. Okay, and let's open this. So in this section, by chance if you get this kind of a say shaded view, don't worry, make sure your section is selected and just go inside the settings. And here in the settings, there's a model appearance rollout. You are talking about the uncut elements. The cut elements, the things are okay. For the uncut, it was supposed to be surface, color fill and shaded. So instead of that, you can just say uniform fill pen. That will be a better option. And let's say okay, so it becomes the section will become a bit simpler to understand. Later you can even try to do this. Now I'll talk about few points which are not matching correctly in this relation of this slab and the stair. See, the first of all, the thing is that my staircase was just adjusted up to the 3 meter as my distance between the bottom floor to the top floor. Okay, the slab was drawn above that, 150 above that. So now there are two possibilities. Either you pull this slab down and change the clear height of the room, or otherwise, if you feel like I don't want to compromise on that, let my slab, the story to story height should be 3150 instead of 3000. Let's do that. First of all, I have to do some changes in my story settings. So I'll just go inside the story settings, and here I'm going to change this instead of 3000, it will be 3150. Okay. Now you will see the change. Definitely, this time the slab top and the staircase, the last portion is also matching, because you know it very well that we have already designed the stair with the combination start with the riser, end with the trade. Of course, the slab projection we have to adjust, so that is later one. But now the thing is that what about the trade riser altogether, their proportions, or the what are the earlier size, whether it has been changed or not. So I'll just go and check out in the settings. You will realize that the changes are there. That for example, the total height is 3150. Now it is getting distributed with the 20 steps. Okay, so that's the reason this odd riser height is getting delivered, which I'm not interested to go for. So if I click on the drop down, either I have to go for 150 as the option, or otherwise even I can click over here and take the 21, either of that. So you just have to make sure that you select that. It will get automatically adjusted in current case. 21 will be the number of steps now. That is the number of risers I can see. And when I say okay for this, this will get redesigned. Now, if you want to see the change in your floor plan, you can definitely check out. The floor plan will also show the equivalent change. Okay, so if you deselect the object, you will see right now how it is working. Now, that's nothing but a very simple change I have made. But anyway, now let's go again and try to select the staircase. Now this time be careful. When I select the staircase, can you see the blue color line? This is supposed to be a reference line. So this is the baseline along with which your staircase was actually arranged. Now, if in case you are selecting the staircase, I have deselected this, and if I select this with some different manner, you can see now I have selected on the edges. At the time of selection, if you just be there, for example, I'm staying over here with the Mercedes cursor, can you see the highlighted option is a boundary of staircase. So in that particular tooltip which you're getting, it is written as a boundary of. Okay. And if I stay somewhere on other side, then it highlights for a particular stair. Say if I stay on the corner, of course, now there are multiple objects, so it's not going to show me the exact one. But if I just select this way, you can see the blue line is getting highlighted. So you are actually editing the baseline and related components of the staircase. But if you select in other manner, the way this boundary of stair is written, and if you select this time you will not be adjusting the say component of the staircase which are related to whether it's a flight or winder and something like that, or mid landing or something like that. Instead of that, you will be just adjusting something which is related to the overall shape of the staircase. Okay. You cannot adjust the number of risers and trades and everything right now. So we will talk about this in the second part. First of all, let me go and show you a very simple thing what I am willing to do now. See, if you just check out right now, this staircase is now working with the U shape, and there are supposed to be steps on the turning point also. The dotted lines which you can see is nothing but soffit of this particular stair which is getting intersected. All these detailing can be get controlled. That means if you are not interested to show the riser and the trade, see both the line work, or maybe the numbers you are not comfortable with, or you want to change them, instead of the starting as a first, you can say this has to be 22. So everything can be get adjusted. So don't worry about that. So very quickly, I'm going to select this. Now, after selecting this, if I use this logic of baseline, and if the justification of the staircase, that is on which side the stair was adjusted for the with respect to the baseline. So right now, so if I click and if I take it to the center, see what is happening. If I go for the last option, so you will understand how the things are changing. So the baseline and the flipping along with the baseline affects the entire overall design of the staircase. I'll just say undo for this because I don't want to lose my earlier combination. So I'm back to my earlier combination. Now let's talk about the further editing of this in detail. Remember, there's always one edit button arrives. If you click on this, you will be actually editing the small components like trade riser and other things inside the actual stair. And if you want to do some global changes quickly, you don't have to click on this button. Say, for example, I want to change the overall shape of the staircase. So I can click on this blue line nodes. So that is there, or with the Mercedes cursor also I can click and get the pit palette. Let's go step by step. For example, at the first, I'm not interested to have steps on the this mid landing area. So what I can do is with the thicker Mercedes cursor, if you click on this, now you can see the altogether such kind of a pet palette gives you the variations. Like you can have option of insert new node. If I insert the node, see what kind of a staircase shape is getting delivered for me. Or otherwise I can make the curve edges also fine. Or otherwise you have the offset edge, so you can just try to change this overall size of the stair, offset all edges. Or otherwise we have one more option as a select segment type. That means this blue segment which you have right now, it is working eligible for flight settings. So if in case you are not interested to go for that, you click on this, you will get the choice that the select segment type, that selected segment type should be what, whether you want to treat this as a flight, landing, winder with the equal angles, and winder with the equal goings. So these two things we are going to discuss in the later part, because that's not immediately possible. Of course, you can try, you will understand what happens. So right now I'm just going to say landing, and if I say okay, immediately you'll understand how the staircase was changed for its overall appearance. Got the point? So that was a very simple task. So now my mid landing was purely adjusted over here, and my first flight and second flight was designed accordingly. And now, if in case you say that I want to start the stair after a gap of one trade, so that can be also get done. So that's nothing but you just have to pick on the node, and with the move node, because this time the pet palette will give you some different options, and you can just push it exactly by 300. So you can see how it works. So this is what a person can, one can do definitely all these simple settings. Okay. Now, of course, if you open the section, you will realize what kind of things are, how the things are getting affected to your overall presentation. Now, be careful about this gap and everything, because I told you in the beginning itself that we are not exactly picking up this particular point. So there was a small gap over here. So either you can push this entire, see this stair unit and align with the required location, or maybe other some required editing thing you can, or any related to design you can adjust it. Say for example, if I say put control D and if I just want to push this back, it's okay. So even that will be okay for us. Now you will talk about then what about the beams which are coming on that. There's a one possibility that you can activate the option of, so if I select the stair, go inside the settings, and if I go inside the structure, you can check out there's a stringer logic, because you can have that concept also. So you just have to make sure that while climbing the stair, okay, so when you're actually going to climb the stair, and if you inside the floor plan, you will understand the point left and right side of that. So according to that, if I see that my stringers should be there on the left for both the things, okay, so this is what is happening now. And you can control on the stringer settings directly from the flight stringer. Here you can decide what kind of a stringer you want to go for, correct? And same way you can have the landing stringer also. So all these sizes you have to adjust, type of a kind of a what kind of a thing which you are looking for, whether it should be a steel member or it should be an RCC member. So you have to decide all these things properly. You have to give the sizes also. Maybe I'll say 230, and this can be roughly of see 350. That you decide accordingly. And same thing I should do over here also. Then obviously, because they should match with each other. So I'm just going to adjust this again, or otherwise you can even normal beam will also do, so you don't have to worry about this. You can even see that I just want to go ahead with the normal beam. You can place that also apart from the actual, that is separate element. It's not going to be the part of your staircase. So let's talk about this for a while and let's see how it works. Okay, so you can see now what kind of a geometry is generated. Now if you see that why it is projected above, the same thing here, the offset was given. So if you just check out, there was a offset which I can put 0 on both the sides. So obviously that will help me to solve the issue. Okay, so this is what can be get adjusted also as per your requirement. So anyway, altogether I can see my staircase was now ready for my basic presentation. I want to show you now a few more things. For example, if in case you are willing to draw the stair by using some easier method, of course you can do that. Say for example, I'm just going to draw some figure maybe with the line tool. Say for example, if I draw this way, that my distance which I want to travel will be 3 meter. Then I'll be having a gap of say 150, and again I am going to return for 3 meter. Okay, so if you have such kind of a predefined drawn what you can see line work, and then if you go inside the stair tool and you just check out your settings, whichever is supposed to be by default as per your choice, everything is there. Okay, and you can definitely choose the required logic over here. You just say okay for this and hold space bar and just touch to this geometry. Right, so this is what I am trying to talk about. Okay, so you now just pick and you will see your staircase was properly designed. So using this magic wand will be also an interesting option, and then later you can change this. Say for example, if I select this, now if I don't want to treat this as again it's by default not working as a pure mid landing. There was nothing but in between. If I just select the staircase and if I press F5, you will understand that and fit in window and then orbit, you will understand what kind of a staircase you have actually designed. Getting the point? And if you see that I'm not interested to keep this two steps or two separate landings, it's just a single landing I want to go for. You can even work for the editing over here also. So if you select in 3D directly, and even if you just try to click with this blue line with the Mercedes cursor, thicker Mercedes, and if you just hit on the segment type, and then if you go for the landing option, say okay, it will get automatically adjusted. Obviously, there will be some plus minus in the floor plan. Now you can check out this is what is getting adjusted. Now if you go back to your settings, here might be, okay, everything is perfect now. Okay, so 21, 150 and everything was correct. So one can try for such kind of a things for sure. For example, I'll let you know about these things in detail in the couple of next clips, because not all the things we can talk in a one clip. It will become very lengthier also to understand. So please try for this much of thing, so that in the next clip probably I'm going to solve your other problems. That is, even we have to talk about the railing tool and some interesting features which are related to staircase also yet pending. So please complete this much of thing, so that in the next clip I'll give you few more editing and drafting techniques related to the staircase.